only Channel 2 by the way, was in Buckhead Monday night as police arrested the rapper Young Thug, whose real name is Jeffrey Williams. We showed you this exclusive video on WSB Tonight.
Yo, what's really going on with Young Thug right now? Fans are shocked, the streets are buzzing, and the internet is straight up exploding after the rapper's latest drop. Miss My Dogs. But here's the twist right after the song hit. Rumors started flying, and now sources are saying that Thugger has been arrested. Yes, you heard that right, arrested? And this ain't just some casual brush with the law. We're talking full-on police action, drama that's shaking his circle to the core, and secrets that nobody saw coming. But what in the world did Miss My Dogs have to do with this? Was it just the music? Or did Young Thug's lyrics strike a nerve that went way deeper than anyone expected? Whispers about hidden messages, snitching, and betrayal are swirling fast. The family is reportedly torn apart. Friends are pointing fingers, and the whole hip-hop community is holding its breath. Emotions are running sky-high as Thug's closest allies scramble to control the damage, while haters circle like vultures ready to pounce. Stick around, because this story has layers: heated confrontations, shocking backstabs, and explosive reveals. You're about to get the FULLT on how a new song turned into a full-blown legal nightmare for one of rap's biggest names. Trust me, you do not want to miss this. Right after Young Thug dropped Miss My Dogs, things seemed normal at first. The beat was catchy, the vibe was raw, and fans flooded social media with reactions, dissecting every lyric like it was a secret message. But what nobody expected was the storm brewing just beneath the surface. The track, which many thought was a tribute to his fallen friends and loyalty to his crew, suddenly became the epicenter of one of the wildest controversies in recent rap history. It all started when a few eagle-eyed fans noticed some suspicious lines in the song that hinted at betrayal. Lines like "some dogs turned snakes" and "lost brothers left me in the cold" sent the internet into a frenzy. People started speculating, saying Thugger was throwing shade at some of his closest associates. Then came the bombshell: an anonymous tip to the police claimed that the song was more than just music. It was a confession. The tip alleged that Young Thug was involved in activities that went beyond music, something that put him in direct conflict with the law. Within hours, rumors spread like wildfire that Thug was being tracked by authorities. Friends close to the rapper were panicked, calling each other in disbelief. "This can't be happening," said one insider who asked not to be named. Thug has always kept his circle tight, and to hear he's in trouble right after dropping a song that's supposed to be about loyalty, it just doesn't add up. Meanwhile, Thug's family was left divided. Some believed the arrest was a setup, a move by rivals trying to take him down. Others feared this could unravel everything Thug had built over the years.
I'm more surprised at and more kind of pissed off at is how the is this even constitutional that a prison, which is part of the system, right, can leak private phone calls. I don't, that it blows me. How can that happen? Now, they're saying, well, who leaked them? Somebody had to get money for them. Nah, because there's no watermark on them. If TMZ bought them, you can best believe TMZ's watermark will be all over that. There's no watermark. I guarantee the government's leaking them because they know what they're doing. They know, let me tell you something, from the feds to City Hall to the mayor to the governor, they all got a communications department where they have hired staff that all they do is look at social media for various reasons. That's it. And us, as a community and culture, we just give them everything they want.
The tension was palpable. Thug's longtime manager, who had been with him through thick and thin, publicly begged for calm. "We're looking into the situation," he said, "and we ask fans to trust the process." Young Thug is innocent until proven otherwise, but the damage was done. Social media exploded with hashtags like #FreeThug and #MissMyDogsMystery. Memes, reactions, and heated debates flooded every platform. Some fans defended Thug, saying he was being targeted unfairly, while others turned on him, convinced the lyrics were a tell-all confession. Then came the moment everyone dreaded. Footage leaked, showing Young Thug being led out of a private residence in handcuffs. The clip spread like wildfire, with commentators, bloggers, and influencers dissecting every detail. His expression was unreadable, a mix of shock and defiance. Some said it was a publicity stunt. Others believed it was the beginning of the end. One popular rapper tweeted, "When the music becomes your alibi and your curse at the same time." Stay strong, Thug. Inside the legal drama, things got messier. Reports surfaced that the arrest was related to an ongoing investigation into gang activity and alleged involvement in illegal arms deals. This was a far cry from the usual rap beefs and controversies Thug had been involved in. Court documents hinted at a possible plea deal, but no official statements were made. The family lawyer insisted that Thug was cooperating fully and maintained his innocence, claiming the charges were exaggerated and politically motivated. But the real drama was happening behind closed doors. Thug's inner circle was fracturing. Friends who once stood by him started distancing themselves, afraid the heat from the arrest would affect their own reputations and careers. One close confidant reportedly confronted Thug, saying, "You've got to be careful who you trust, man. This song Miss My Dogs, it's stirring up more trouble than you know." Thug, according to sources, was furious and defensive, insisting that the song was meant to honor, not incriminate. Meanwhile, the rapper's estranged brother, who had been out of the public eye for years, suddenly surfaced, adding fuel to the fire. In an emotional Instagram Live, he claimed, "This ain't just about Thug. It's about family loyalty, betrayal, and the price we pay. When we get caught up in this life," his words sparked speculation about long-buried family secrets and unresolved tensions that might be connected to the arrest. Fans were desperate for answers, and the media was more than willing to dig deeper. Some investigative reporters uncovered that the song's producer had ties to individuals under federal investigation, raising questions about whether Miss My Dogs was more than just a song. It might have been a coded message to rivals or authorities. This theory was bolstered by anonymous sources claiming that Thug had recorded alternate versions of the track with drastically different lyrics, suggesting internal conflict about what message to send out. The street was alive with chatter. In local clubs and on radio shows, DJs played the track and speculated on who Thug was really talking about. Was it a betrayal within his crew, a warning to the streets, or a confession of something far darker? Some listeners claimed they heard subliminal threats hidden in the beat, while others felt the song was a heartfelt goodbye to those lost. The ambiguity only added layers to the drama. Then came an unexpected twist. A rival rapper known for his outspoken beef with Thug released a diss track that seemed to directly reference Miss My Dogs and the arrest. The track was vicious, filled with pointed insults and accusations that implied Thug was a snitch. The diss ignited a fierce back and forth on social media, with fans picking sides and fueling the fire. What started as a legal issue was rapidly morphing into a full-blown public war between rap camps. Back at Thug's home, emotions were running high. His mother, once fiercely protective, was seen crying outside the courthouse, telling reporters, "My son is not a criminal. He's a fighter, and he's been through too much to be torn down now." Her heartbreak was a stark contrast to the cold headlines and ruthless rumors. Meanwhile, some of Thug's closest friends gathered to strategize a public relations plan, hoping to save his image before it was completely destroyed. Amid all this chaos, the rapper's social media went eerily silent. Fans noticed the absence and flooded his pages with messages of support and concern. A few cryptic posts appeared from his official team, saying things like "Stay tuned and truth will come out," but no clear answers. The silence only made the speculation worse, with some even wondering if Thug had fled or was hiding from the consequences. The story was gaining so much traction that late-night, talk shows and entertainment news outlets picked it up, turning Young Thug's arrest and the Miss My Dog saga into prime-time drama. Commentators debated the impact this would have on his career and the wider hip-hop community. Some predicted a comeback fueled by the scandal, while others said this might be the downfall of one of rap's most influential voices. Yet, through it all, one question remained unanswered. What exactly did Miss My Dogs mean in the context of this arrest? Was it a cry for help, a coded confession, or just a misunderstood tribute? And more importantly, who really betrayed whom in this tangled web of loyalty, family drama, and street politics? Right after Young Thug's arrest made headlines, the atmosphere in his camp turned from tense to explosive. The crew that once seemed unbreakable was now cracking at the seams. Whispers of betrayal had transformed into outright accusations, and loyalty was tested like never before. It wasn't just the law that Thug had to worry about. It was the people closest to him, the ones who were supposed to ride or die, suddenly questioning everything in the dimly lit back room of a downtown Atlanta studio. Thug sat with his manager, his longtime producer, and a few trusted friends. The mood was heavy, thick with frustration and fear. Thug's voice was low, but laced with anger. "I didn't snitch on nobody," he said, eyes blazing. "This whole thing started 'cause of that song. They twisted my words. Man." The manager shook his head, rubbing his temples. "Bro, it's not just about the song. The feds have their own evidence, and they're using every angle to pin this on you." The producer leaned forward, voice trembling slightly. "You remember when we were working on the track? You said some things off the record, things you never wanted in the song. Maybe someone else got their hands on that." Thug slammed his fist on the table. Who's out here playing me like that?" The room fell silent. Nobody had an answer. But everyone knew trust had been broken. Meanwhile, on the other side of the city, Thug's family was dealing with its own storm. His sister, who had always been the peacemaker, was caught in the middle of a fierce argument between their mother and Thug's estranged brother. Their mother was desperate to defend Thug, while the brother accused him of dragging the whole family into the spotlight for all the wrong reasons. "You think you're the only one hurting?" the brother yelled during a heated phone call that was leaked online. "This isn't just about you anymore. You put us all on the line with your choices." Fans watching from the sidelines were equally torn. Some posted heartfelt messages of support, remembering Thug's roots and his rise from the struggle. Others criticized him, convinced that the arrest was proof that he'd crossed a line. The hashtag #MissMyDogs became a battleground, with heated debates about loyalty, truth, and justice flooding every platform. One viral tweet read, "If you really miss your dogs, why are you out here risking everything?" It sparked a wave of responses, both defending and condemning the rapper. But the most jaw-dropping development came when a previously unknown video surfaced online. In it, Thug could be seen in a heated argument with a man identified by insiders as a rival gang leader. The footage, grainy but clear enough to catch snippets of their exchange, seemed to show Thug refusing to back down in a dispute over territory and respect. "You think this music can save you out here?" The rivals spat. "This ain't no game, Thug. Real dogs don't play." The video sent shockwaves through Thug's camp. Some believed it was a setup, part of a smear campaign.
"I like all this wild stuff. I like Thug, I like God, I'm gonna like him before, I'm gonna like him after." But I'm gonna tell you where they got wrong at. They've been propagating the street free code. These are millionaires. Millionaires made it from the bottom. But they're obsessed with trying to portray the image that they're the realest street ever. I just seen Woody put up a post. He says, "No, I'm not okay." Huh? Since when is street it sounded like little white girls Karen? Everybody in that situation need therapy. And the reality why they all need therapy is because they made it. When YSL was known by you and me, YSL was lit. It's popping. But they weren't happy with all the money and all. They still want to propagate the same. Then as soon as Johnny Law come, they don't want to do it no more. They start thinking about their mamas, their sisters, their kids. Never seen something like that. It's the first time I've seen gangsters need therapy.
Part of a smear campaign designed to ruin him. Others fear to confirm the worst, that Thug was caught in dangerous crossfire beyond just lyrics and fame. The producer who'd been working on Miss My Dogs said, "This is bigger than the music. Thug's walking a thin line, and it's about to snap." Just as Thug was trying to hold his crew together, betrayal hit close to home. One of his closest friends, who had been with him since the early days, was caught leaking information to the press and, shockingly, cooperating with law enforcement. The revelation crushed Thug, who had always believed in loyalty above all else. "How could you?" Thug demanded during a confrontation captured on a leaked phone call. "We were supposed to be family." The friend's voice was cold, detached. "Times change, Thug. I'm looking out for myself now." This revelation sent Thug into a spiral. Emotionally and creatively drained, he found himself isolated, grappling with trust issues while facing mounting legal pressure. Meanwhile, the media circus grew. Tabloids and rap news channels dissected every detail, spinning narratives of downfall and redemption. Some commentators speculated that the entire situation was a well-planned publicity stunt, Thug keeping his name trending during a career lull. But insiders denied it, calling the arrest and all the fallout painfully real. Amid this chaos, Thug's team scrambled to control the narrative. A surprise interview was arranged with a popular hip-hop journalist, where Thug's lawyer tried to paint the rapper as a victim of circumstance and misunderstanding. Young Thug has been a positive force in his community, the lawyer claimed. "These charges are blown out of proportion, and we're confident justice will prevail." Thug himself remained silent in the interview, a look of weariness etched on his face, raising more questions than answers. But the real drama was happening far from the cameras. Late one night, Thug's estranged brother showed up at the studio unannounced, demanding a private talk. The meeting was tense, emotional, and raw. "We can't keep pretending everything's fine," the brother said. "There are things you need to know. Things about our family and the people you've been trusting." Thug listened, the weight of years of secrets pressing down. "What are you talking about?" he asked, voice cracking. "It's time to stop running from the past." The brother's revelations shook Thug to his core. Buried family secrets, long-held grudges, and hidden alliances came to light. It turned out that Thug's troubles weren't just about his music or legal battles. They were rooted in a tangled web of personal betrayals and Mocha Cell, and rivalries that had been simmering for years. This new knowledge complicated everything. Thug realized that some enemies weren't on the streets or in the courtroom. They were in his own bloodline. While Thug processed this, another shocking event unfolded. The rival rapper who dropped the Savage diss track earlier publicly called for a face-to-face confrontation, demanding Thug answer for the accusations of snitching and betrayal. The challenge was unexpected, stirring anticipation and anxiety among fans and insiders alike. Would Thug respond with words, with action, or would he retreat deeper into silence? Before Thug could make his move, yet another twist hit. A leaked text conversation revealed that a few members of Thug's crew had been secretly communicating with law enforcement, tipping them off about Thug's movements and plans. The betrayal cut deep. Thug felt cornered, betrayed not just by the system, but by those he considered family. "This ain't loyalty," he said in a private call. "This is survival at the cost of everything we built." The community around Thug was left in turmoil. Some rallied harder behind him, believing he was the victim of a conspiracy. Others distanced themselves, wary of the growing heat. His manager faced intense scrutiny and pressure, and some sponsors reportedly pulled out of upcoming deals, fearing association with the controversy. Thug's social media following grew exponentially. But it was a double-edged sword. Attention came with both love and hate. Amid all this, Thug's creative mind was racing. Sources close to him said he was working on new music, potentially even an album that would address the scandal head-on. The project was rumored to be raw, emotional, and unlike anything he'd done before. "He's using this pain to fuel his art," said one insider. "It's going to be a message not just for his fans, but for everyone who's been watching this drama unfold. Yet even as Thug prepared for his next move, the legal case against him was closing in. Court dates were set, new evidence was revealed, and prosecutors seemed determined to make an example out of him. His legal team was stretched thin, scrambling to build a defense amid the chaos. Friends feared the worst, that Thug's career and freedom could be on the line. All because of a song and a tangled web of loyalty, betrayal, and family secrets. The story had become more than just music or legal drama. It was a raw, real-life soap opera filled with emotion, deception, and high stakes. Thug was at the center of it all, fighting not just for his freedom, but for his legacy, his family, and his truth. And just when it seemed like things couldn't get any more complicated, another shocker was waiting in the wings, one that would change everything once again. Just when Young Thug and his team thought they had weathered the worst, a new revelation shook the entire situation to its core. An anonymous source close to the investigation leaked a confidential police report, and the contents were explosive. Apparently, law enforcement had uncovered recordings of Thug in private conversations discussing rivalries, plans, and even hints at involvement in activities far darker than anyone had imagined. The recordings were said to be hidden in plain sight, deaded in studio sessions and casual chats that no one thought twice about. The leaks sent up shockwaves through Thug's camp. His manager called an emergency meeting, pacing nervously as he tried to keep the crew calm. "This changes everything," he said, voice tight. "If those tapes get out, Thug's public image is done for. This isn't just about the music anymore. This is criminal." Thug, sitting across from him, looked drained but determined. "We fight it. We control what comes out. I won't let them rewrite my story." Meanwhile, Thug's estranged brother was suddenly back in the headlines. After their earlier explosive conversation, he'd gone quiet. But now he dropped another bombshell during an exclusive interview with a popular hip-hop podcast. He claimed that some people in Thug's circle had been feeding the authorities information for years, and that Thug's arrest was inevitable because of a setup engineered by those closest to him. "Sometimes the biggest betrayal comes from the family you think you can trust," he said. The interview polarized fans. Some saw it as a courageous truth. Others as an attempt to stoke the drama and gain clout, as if that wasn't enough. Thug's rival rapper, who had been taunting him with diss tracks and public challenges, suddenly switched gears. In a surprising video post, the rival proposed a ceasefire, offering to meet man-to-man to settle their differences once and for all. The hip-hop world exploded with speculation. Was this a genuine attempt to end the feud, or a strategic move to keep the spotlight? Many fans saw it as a pivotal moment, a chance for Thug to prove himself beyond the scandal and reclaim respect. Inside Thug's circle, emotions ran hotter than ever. During a tense confrontation at a private studio session, Thug confronted the friend who had leaked information to the press and law enforcement. "You were supposed to be family," Thug said quietly, but with hurt cutting through every word. The friend's response was cold and unapologetic. "You don't get it. This is survival. You either adapt or you get left behind." Thug's eyes filled with anger and disappointment. "I built this from nothing. How could you just throw it away?" As Thug struggled with betrayal, his mother was working behind the scenes to rally support. She appeared at charity events, spoke to community leaders, and shared emotional messages on social media, urging fans and friends to stand by her son. "He's more than these accusations," she said tearfully during a radio interview. "He's a fighter who's made mistakes but deserves a chance to prove himself." Her words resonated with many, igniting a wave of grassroots support that countered the negative media narrative. Amid this whirlwind, Thug began to open up creatively. Sources
allow me to go home today and just trust in me, to just do the right thing and never see you again. You found me in your heart to allow me to go home and be with my family and just do better as a person. I know what I...
So essentially, the total sentence is 40 years to serve the first 5 years in prison, but commuted to the time that you have already served, followed by 15 years on probation.
Sources revealed that he had been writing and recording new music that directly addressed the chaos engulfing his life. The tracks were raw, emotional, and unfiltered, a stark departure from his previous work. "He's telling his story, no holds barred," said one collaborator. "This is Thug's truth laid bare." Snippets of these unreleased songs leaked online, with fans praising the vulnerability and honesty, further complicating public opinion. But the pressure was mounting. As court dates approached, the legal team scrambled to build a defense that could withstand the mountain of evidence. Whispers of a plea deal circulated, but Thug remained silent, refusing to confirm or deny. His loyal fans held on to hope, flooding social media with messages of support and organizing campaigns under #JusticeForThug. At the same time, critics seized the opportunity to question his character and condemn his alleged actions. In the midst of all this, an unexpected visitor appeared at Thug's prison during a short custody transfer. Well-known industry veteran and former collaborator. The meeting was brief but intense. According to sources, the veteran offered Thug advice, encouragement, and a potential path forward in the music industry if he could navigate the legal storm. "This could be your second chance," the veteran reportedly said. Thug's response was a mix of gratitude and resolve. "I'm not done yet," he told him. Back home, Thug's family was still fractured. His sister, caught between loyalty to her brother and the painful reality of the situation, publicly pleaded for peace. "We need to heal, not hate," she wrote in a heartfelt social media post. But behind closed doors, tensions simmered. Old wounds reopened as relatives argued about blame, responsibility, and the future of their family name. The brother who had earlier leaked secrets found himself increasingly isolated. His motives questioned by everyone. Then came a new shockwave. A mysterious package arrived at Thug's lawyer's office containing footage that appeared to exonerate Thug, videos showing Thug intervening in a conflict to prevent violence, contradicting the narrative of a hardened criminal. The footage was quickly leaked, reigniting debate and giving Thug's defense team a powerful new angle. Suddenly, the story wasn't just about an arrest or betrayal, but about a complex man caught in a web of circumstance and loyalty. The internet responded immediately. Fans shared the footage thousands of times, with many declaring it proof that Thug was being unfairly targeted. Social media influencers debated the authenticity of the videos, with some calling for a deeper investigation into the justice system's treatment of young artists. The #ThugTruth began trending alongside #MissMyDogs, reflecting the divided opinions and intense passion surrounding the case. Amid all the public drama, Thug remained largely silent, communicating only through cryptic social media posts and occasional messages from his legal team. His silence spoke volumes, adding to the suspense and speculation. Was he planning a comeback, a confession, or something else entirely? No one knew for sure, but everyone was watching. At the same time, new voices entered the fray. A group of former collaborators and industry insiders began speaking out, some defending Thug's character, others cautioning about the dangers of the lifestyle he was involved in. one former producer said in an interview. Thug's story is a cautionary tale about loyalty, trust, and the consequences of the streets meeting the spotlight. Another artist called it a tragedy, fueled by misunderstanding and betrayal. As the drama surrounding Young Thug's arrest reached fever pitch, the tension within his camp turned from uncertainty to outright chaos. The revelations from the leaked videos, the family fractures, and the constant media barrage left everyone on edge. Thug himself seemed more distant, often locked away in the studio or quietly meeting with his legal team. The weight of the situation evident in every move he made. Yet beneath the surface, something was brewing, a plan to reclaim his story and redefine his legacy. One night, after an intense studio session, Thug called a meeting with the few loyal friends and collaborators who had stood by him through the storm. The room was small, smoke-filled, and charged with raw emotion. "We're not just gonna let this break us," Thug said, his voice steady but fierce. "They want to paint me as the villain, the rat, the problem, but we know the truth. Now it's time to tell it." His friends nodded, some wiping away tears, others clenching fists in determination. This was more than music now. It was a fight for survival. Meanwhile, outside the studio, the streets were buzzing with new rumors. Some said Thug was planning a public comeback tour. Others whispered about secret collaborations with big-name artists ready to stand by him. The industry, always hungry for the next scandal or redemption story, watched closely. Jay spun Thug's latest leaks with new meaning, each lyric now heavy with the context of his real-life battle. Fans waited anxiously, craving answers, hoping for closure at the same time. Thug's family drama reached a breaking point. The estranged brother, whose previous revelations had rocked the foundation, made a shocking public apology, saying he'd acted out of pain and confusion. "I was angry, and I let that anger hurt the people I love," he said in a tearful video that quickly went viral. "Thug's my blood, and no matter what, family comes first." The apology softened some hearts, but also reopened old wounds, sparking fierce debates among fans and media alike about forgiveness and loyalty. Then came the most unexpected twist. Thug's lawyer announced a surprise plea deal offer from prosecutors, one that could potentially reduce Thug's charges, but required him to testify against unnamed associates. The news exploded on social media, dividing fans. Some urged Thug to take the deal to regain freedom and protect his future, while others cried betrayal, insisting he stay strong and fight the system. Thug himself gave no public statement, leaving everyone to guess what he would do amid this legal pressure. Thug continued to release snippets of new music, raw, emotional, and unapologetic. One leaked track included haunting lyrics about trust, loss, and resilience, resonating deeply with fans who saw it as Thug's way of speaking out despite the silence. The song sparked renewed interest in his artistry, reminding the world that behind the headlines was a rapper still at the top of his game. Inside the courthouse, the legal battle took an unexpected turn when a key witness mysteriously recanted their testimony, throwing the prosecution's case into chaos. The courtroom drama was intense, with whispers of intimidation, deal-making, and hidden agendas flying between lawyers and reporters. The outcome became more uncertain, adding a new layer of suspense to an already explosive case. While the legal saga unfolded, Thug's personal life was equally tumultuous. Late-night texts between Thug and his mother were leaked, revealing heartfelt conversations filled with worry, love, and determination. "We gonna get through this, baby," she wrote. "I'm proud of you no matter what." Thug's replies were raw and vulnerable, showing a side of the rapper rarely seen by the public. The leak humanized him in the eyes of many fans, sparking a wave of empathy amid the chaos. But not everyone was ready to forgive. A rival faction in the rap world seized the moment to strike, releasing a new diss track targeting Thug and his family, reigniting old beefs and threatening to drag the drama into dangerous territory. The diss was vicious, personal, and unrelenting, and it sparked a flurry of responses from fans and artists alike, turning social media into a war zone. The threat of violence loomed large, and security around Thug and his family was reportedly increased. Despite the mounting pressure, Thug showed signs of resilience. Insiders reported that he was focused on his upcoming album, a project described as his most personal and raw yet. Collaborators said the music reflected his journey through betrayal, loss, and redemption, with Thug using his art as a weapon and a shield. "This album is his comeback story," one said. "It's not just music. It's his life." As the case dragged on, the public was left with unanswered questions. Would Thug accept the plea deal and testify against his own? Could he navigate the family drama without losing more loved ones? And most importantly, would his music survive this dark chapter to cement his legacy? The tension was palpable, and the world was watching every move. And then, just when it seemed like things couldn't get any more intense, another bombshell dropped. A leaked letter from Thug himself, written from jail, surfaced online. In the letter, Thug poured out his heart, apologizing for mistakes, thanking his loyal fans, and promising that this was not the end of his story. The letter was emotional, raw, and filled with hope. It was a reminder that behind all the drama was a man fighting to reclaim his life and voice. So here we are, caught in the middle of one of the wildest, most intense stories in hip-hop history. Young Thug's arrest after dropping "Miss My Dogs" wasn't just another headline. It's a saga of betrayal, family drama, shocking twists, and the fight for survival in a world where loyalty is everything and trust is rare. Fans are shocked, emotions ran high, and the family was left divided, all while Thug battles not just the law but the ghosts of his past and the pressure of the spotlight. But the question that still hangs heavy in the air is, what happens next? Will Thug take the plea deal and risk burning bridges with those he once called family? Will he come back stronger with new music that tells his truth, or fade into the background as the legal system and rivalries close in? The answers aren't clear, and that uncertainty is what keeps this story so gripping. Now it's your turn. What do you think about all this? Is Young Thug a victim of a setup, or is there more to the story than meets the eye? Do you believe in his loyalty to his dogs, or has the betrayal cut too deep? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We want to hear from you. Don't forget to like this video if you're here for the real talk and raw drama. And subscribe to stay on top of every twist and turn in this saga. The story is far from over, and you won't want to miss what's coming next. Stay tuned, because this roller coaster is just getting started. Just getting started.